because I know I'm a product of this very system, college golf. I know in my heart I wouldn't have any chance of being the man I am today if it wasn't for being a part of the college golf experience and system. And since Greg Gross has been a great friend, someone I knew back when I was competing when I was at the University of Houston. When I was at TCU, I was basically the starter on the first tee. That's as close as I got in competition. It's been an amazing journey. And I'm going to make most of my remarks tonight about one man. And that's going to be the man that will be remembered later on this evening when the Coach of the Year is presented. And will be remembered for decades and centuries to come, because the college golf Coach of the Year is named after him. And that was my coach and my mentor and my inspiration, the great Dave Williams. For some reason, when I met Dave Williams back in the summer of 1977, he took a liking to me, and he gave me some opportunities that I truly didn't deserve. I didn't have the pedigree. I didn't have this incredible junior record, shooting low scores and winning golf tournaments. I was recommended by one of his former Cougar players who had played on the national championship team back in the early 60s, played on the tour for a few years. He'd seen me hit balls and give me a few lessons, and he said, I think you could compete. You just got in the right situation. I want you to meet Dave Williams. And a few days later, I basically was auditioning before the legend. I met him out at this golf course called Woodlands, where they played the Houston Open for a number of years. And I instantly knew this was one of the most sincere, sweetest, earnest men that I've ever known in my life. And he told me this was the deal. You go play 9 holes. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to follow you in a golf cart. And you just go play like no one else is here. I birdied the first hole. I birdied the second hole. 2 under after 2. I'm carrying my own bag. I'm playing as a onesie. I played the next 7 holes, 4 over, 3 pars and 4 bogeys. Shot 38. Walked off the 9th green and thought I'd probably blown this opportunity. I was going to the University of Texas, by the way. It was not going to be competing. It was going to be pursuing communications. But again, I had this chance meeting, this opportunity, because one former player thought I could play for Dave Williams, but I shot 38. I walked off the green, and I went over and thanked him for spending an hour and a half with me, and his interest in me being a Cougar. And he said, I want to welcome you to the University of Houston. He said, now you need to go through a late admission process, because I had not applied to the school. And he said, I'd like you to walk on my golf team. It'd be great to have you as a Cougar. So, there were 7 total freshmen that came in. 3 were on partial scholarship. 4 were under that walk-on category. The 3 incoming freshmen got half scholarships. No one was on a full ride the whole time I was in Houston. John Ward from Plainview, Texas, who had shot 10 consecutive competitive rounds in the summer leading into his freshman year at Houston in some big-time junior events across the state of Texas, 10 straight rounds in the 60s. Blaine McAllister from a small truck stop off of Interstate 10 in West Texas called Fort Stockton, who had won the state like 3A high school championship and was highly recruited. And then a guy out of Seattle, Washington, who was offered a few partial scholarships along the way, and his name was Fred Couples. And the rest of us, again, were just there because we were believers and we wanted to be part of this legendary program that at that point had won 13 national championships. Short of it is, the coach, as time went on, would put me in the dorm room with the 3 scholarship guys in my class. You know, at the time, I thought that was really cool. These guys were big-time players. You know, we played a lot of golf together, never beat them. And the first day I ever showed up at school, in fact, he took us out to a golf course called Sugar Creek. And I got to play with those three, McAllister, Horn, and Cummins. And I wasn't nervous. You know, when you're 17 years old, you know, you really feel you're pretty confident about what you're doing. And I can remember that day, I don't know why, but to this day I can remember numbers, stats, and names pretty vividly. But I played really well that day, except on the par fives. There were 4 par fives. I went for the green on all 4 of them in 2. And all 4 of them resulted in penalty strokes. One of them, I hit the second shot over a fence out of bounds, and 3 of them I ended up in a hazard next to the green. I played those 4 par fives 9 over. I shot 81. I thought, you know what? I was pretty close. I should have been able to maybe pick up a couple of birdies on those 4 holes. Could have shot 70, who knows? Fred shot 70. Blaine shot 72, John Horn shot 75, I shot 81. I thought, you know, I'm not that far away. Well, that was about as close as I ever got. I mean, I never had that delusional thought again that I could actually maybe compete with these guys. And the separation was only increasing as time went on. As a matter of fact, I wasn't getting a chance to play with my own roommates as time went on. They were playing with the guys at the upper echelon, and I was in the back of the pack. I was number 18 on an 18-man golf team. In a constant fight to try to get to 17. But Dave Williams treated me like I was number 1. And I'll bet the other 17 guys felt the exact same way. What a gift. What a gift to make a young person feel like they're important and not feel like they're a second-class citizen. It's a different world today, you know, social media, and I'm sure you coaches deal with your players, tweeting and Facebooking and doing all kinds of things. You probably have to watch that pretty closely, although you guys are really around great young men and women. But we had truly a spirit there of optimism. There was no sarcasm, no cynicism, and it was all coming from the man who led us. Dave Williams, he was a saintly guy. And Mrs. Williams, Virginia, they're both gone now. She was a big part of that program's success. Big part. She knew everything that was happening, every score that was shot. She accompanied the team on most of the trips, and she was right in the middle of it. She was the assistant coach. What a gift, though, to give to a young person to make you feel special. I'm around college basketball. Andrew mentioned I've called that 31 consecutive Final Fours and national championships. We're in an era now where a lot of players are in school 1 year and they're off to the NBA. The really top schools go through that. In golf, you know, you guys get to get your hands on these kids for 4 years. You get to have them in such this pivotal time in a young person's life when they're independent for the first time. They're breaking away from home, away from their parents, and now they're trying to find who they are, their identity, and they're suddenly the best guy to ever play in their county, and now they go to a school and everybody else is just as good or better than you, and you know, it's pretty tough. And they're leaning on all of you to let them know that their world is okay. It's a tricky thing. It's a real skill. I'm around a lot of coaches. You know, I'm in the heart of the NFL season right now. Got New England and Denver this Sunday. Check your local listings. And I see coaches who do things in a different way. They have different approaches. You know, I see a guy like Mike Krzyzewski have all of his championships too. The way he runs his program, it's impressive. I'll see Coach Belichick, who's up 6 points right now, early fourth quarter against Baltimore. a lot of New England games. And I see basically, you boil it down, coaches either lead by inspiration or intimidation. Then there is the gray area, there's somewhere in between. I wrote a book a few years ago about my dad. I talk about this a lot because I was trying to find my dad late in his life in a battle against Alzheimer's. I found my dad through others. That's what the book's thesis was. And I would see a guy like Tony Dungy, who was coaching the Colts, and I called his Super Bowl title. He led that team through inspiration. I saw my dad in Tony Dungy. If he was a coach, he'd be like that. If Dave Williams was an NFL coach, he would have been like Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy never swore in front of his team. Never. Never once would anyone ever say that they heard Tony Dungy say something that he would be ashamed of. He led that team by inspiration. One time I asked him what his week was like. I was getting prepared for a broadcast with the Colts. He was talking about some of the media obligations he'd gone through, and he said he had appeared on a Fox show called The Best Damn Sports Show. You might remember that. He then apologized to me for saying the word damn. But the short of it is, you all have a very important role. You're leaders. You're changing people's lives. My life has been influenced by a lot of people, starting, of course, with my incredible mother and father. My mom is here tonight, and there's nothing that makes me happier than being able to have a night where somebody tries to make a big deal about her son, although I don't think she, but she feels pretty special about it. And I get to point out that she's here and how much I love her. Doris Nantz is right here. But the coaching thing is, it's important to me. It's important to me what you guys are doing. And I get to meet some of you along the way. Just saw Conrad, 7 other coaches out of the competition out where I live in California. I love being around those teams and the coaches a few weeks back. And somebody said to me tonight, who do you root for? Well, obviously I root for my school. And I root for my man, Jonathan Dismute, who's right over here. Proud of the person he is. It's not easy being in a school where there's a coach there at one time won 16 national championships, and he embraces it, and he treats us with great integrity. I'm proud of him. We do a fundraiser out in California for his program, and I'm proud to say, in the name of Dave Williams, that we've had the biggest fundraiser now 3 times running in the history of the Houston Golf program. And we do it for a lot of reasons, but we also mainly do it for the fact that we believe in you, John, so thank you. But somebody asked me, who do you root for? You know, the real answer on this is, I root for all of you guys. I'm proud of all of you. Every one of you. Men's and women's golf coaches who are here tonight. The Division I powerhouses that are producing tour quality players all the time. Division II coaches, the Division III guys. Tim Poe, I saw Tim here tonight. I ran across him 5 years ago. I hadn't seen him since. He was the coach for the Palmer Cup team in 2011. And I got to have an evening with his team before that Palmer Cup competition. And I was impressed. And I'm glad to be in the Hall of Fame with him here tonight. That's a big deal to me. But I root for all you guys. You know, I get to call basketball, I get to call the NFL, I'm proud of that. But there's nothing that means more to me when it comes to sport than a game of golf. It is deep in my heart. And it was emboldened by the people that I got to be exposed to when I was at the University of Houston, led by my golf coach. Now here's the thing. This gathering here tonight would never happen